All right. Do I have a thumbs up from the computer over there? Are we on? Can you see me? Hello, everybody. I'm Sam Irvin. Double thumbs up from across the room. That means the show has begun. This show is Asheville 8-Note. Asheville parentheses. No, wait. Asheville 8 parentheses PM end parentheses note. The show where I have a different Asheville musician guest on to chat for an hour and jam for an hour with me every week, although I did miss last week, so maybe we can talk about my consistency. I've let you guys down. But today I have two guests, the Hillclimbers, wonderful singers, a duo, stand-up bass and guitar, and just dreamy voices, some hand percussion, or should I say foot percussion. And maybe I'll noodle over them and when we jam a little later. But first of all, I'll introduce myself. I'm Sam Irvin, the host of this show. We are here in Irvin Music Studio, which is in Asheville, North Carolina. And this is the hub for my private lessons, my event entertainment, and sound production work. And this show sort of falls into that third category. I'm putting it on to build more community. Some of my guests haven't met each other. I'm providing a platform for people to get good recordings of themselves and chat about what they're passionate about when it comes to music or really anything else. And I also wanted to meet some people, meeting one of the guests today, and catch up with old friends. So community. I also wanted to carve out a space in my life just for music to be fun, to get creative for creative sake. And thirdly, I wanted to practice. We all know how important practice is when it comes to music, and there are a zillion knobs and cables down here and to work when I'm doing this show. Doing this live mixing, live audio engineering to get a good sound while we're playing a little later. And also, I'm recording those to mix and put better versions up. So I believe the last mix that's up is the Dino Birds episode with Zach Downs from a couple of weeks ago. Sun Goblin, the band, came on recently. That was a great take. Not last week, but the week before was Andrew Thelston and Edwin Miracle. Great rock players. That finished mix should be coming out soon. For me, it's deep in wedding season, so a lot of gigs with solo guitar and guitar violin. I have a gig in Highland coming up this weekend, looking forward to, and then the beginning of June's pretty busy. And I know these guys, the Hillclimbers, have a lot of shows to talk about coming up in May. So I'm excited to hear about what goes into their preparation and what they've got planned. But first, I'm going to stick with a tradition of this show and make sure that you guys can hear me. Oh, it's coming through crystal clear. That's awesome. Oh, and so is my cell phone text noise. Maybe I'll mute. You guys can take this opportunity, even you at home, to mute your phones so we can all really chill out, and okay, Connor's ahead of me over there. So I believe that's all the rambling I've got to do. Eventually I'll set up a Patreon that I'll plug at the beginning of this episode. But there's nothing to sign up for on that front yet. So you can just go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's the best way to support the show at the moment. If you're watching this on something else like Facebook or Twitch or LinkedIn, pop over to the YouTube channel. I think the audio quality is just a little bit better. Those finished episodes that I was talking about refining, I put those up on YouTube. So that channel is really the best place to experience Asheville 8-Note. So without further ado, let's have on the Hillclimbers, Connor and Blake Nagel. Is that the right pronunciations? All right, yeah, come on down. Let's see, the guest intro music, the moment of truth. Will they hit guest intro music? And the little arrow, I believe that we have done it. Let's double check. Let's listen on. Oh, yeah. It's coming. Thanks for coming on. You made it. It's an obstacle course.
Excuse me.
You guys managed to come over here without knocking down any lights or a camera or tripping over a cable and face planting into the table. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for not hurting yourselves in my studio.
Yeah, we did pretty good, I guess.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, plug in. I think it's nice to sort of
sounds
hear.
good.
That's right. Yeah. Pro podcasting.
Crispy.
That's right.
Yeah, this is our first podcast experience, so it's pretty exciting.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
I feel so honored. You guys are episode 65, I think. So I've done 65 of these. You're in good hands.
Wow.
Not great hands.
Yeah.
But,
some experience under your
medium
belt.
good hands. That's right. The sound is going through. I think that's sort of the primary.
Yeah, that's a start.
We're broadcasting right now. Yeah. So now you've got a platform, what do you want to say to the world? What means a lot to you?
Hey, world, thanks for being here with us. And, we love playing music. We're happy to play music. And I'm glad that I met Sam and the Sauna at the Y. So now we get to be on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
The Y is a great community builder spot. Sorry, I'm Blake. Do you have anything special that you need to get off of your chest? I like the message of gratitude. That's a good go-to.
Yeah. Gratitude. Be kind.
Be kind, everybody.
Yeah.
Why not?
That's what these guys do.
Rewind. Yeah. Yeah, who else from the sauna at the Y has been on? Sam Browse has been on.
Oh, Papadozio?
Yeah. Great keys player.
Oh, that's cool. I kind of overheard him and didn't talk to him, but I, after the fact, determined that he was in Papadozio, but I didn't talk to him, so.
Oh, yeah, a super friendly guy. Yeah,
Wow.
so he's worth talking
I bet.
to.
Yeah.
Rick Davis with the big white beard. He apparently...
Oh, Rick. Yeah, Rick. I'm doing, he invited me over to his home studio. He's making a song. Blake, you met Rick.
Yeah, I met Rick.
We ran into a Taco Bell.
Sick.
So we're the
Cool.
best musicians in Asheville meet. But yeah, Rick's super cool guy, and he's making a song, and I'm going to play a little bass on it. So shout out to Rick.
Yeah. Hey, Rick. He has been watching these. So
Nice.
Prepare. Yeah, he's a good dude. Oh, I'm going to take a moment and switch camera angles. Boom. Now we're at camera 2. Now I can set it. I'm going to make it automatic. I get really into the tech, but then I get really distracted from the conversation I'm supposed to be having.
Yeah, it's a lot to self-produce.
Yeah.
I imagine.
That's impressive.
A lot of buttons.
Yeah.
But you guys didn't come here to talk about my buttons or Rick Davis and other Y members. But
Sorry, Rick.
I could talk about the sauna. It could be a little hotter in there, I think.
Yeah, well, they finally did increase the temperature, and I know that was a big movement from the regulars. There was a lot of complaining, and one day after the sauna was renovated, I came in, and it was really cooking, and
Yeah, it is much better now.
squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah, I love really getting uncomfortable in there and then the cold
Yeah, that's
shower.
the point. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Blake, you a big sauna guy? I haven't seen you in there.
I don't belong to the Y, but
Okay.
if I did, I'm sure I would pop in.
This
I like
is
to
a big
swim.
commercial for the Y.
I've been thinking about joining the Y. I do like to swim.
Yeah,
I miss
That's cool.
swimming.
That's
Sam's
what I
big
do.
time swimmer.
Yeah, I used to swim in high school.
What is it, a mile a day?
Nice.
Sam?
Yeah, I'm down from 5 miles a week to I only get 3 days
Okay.
now. Yeah, so sort of slacking.
Nice. Yeah.
I know, not as impressive. I missed last week on the live stream. I'm only swimming 3 laps a week. No, more than 3 laps a week.
You can do better.
Yeah. Well, tell me about your guys' regiment when it comes to like practicing music. Do you guys practice together often, or is it really just on the? I mean, you're gigging so much that I'm sure you've got your act down, right?
Yeah, it's become basically paid practices on Sundays. We have a regular Sunday gig at Twin Leaf Brewery, which is awesome, and it's really chill. And we pretty much are able to experiment there and do a lot of the things we used to do on late nights together practicing, or we don't have to get together to practice as much anymore because we play together every week no matter what. So I'd say nowadays.
I'd say we don't really have a regiment, but we have kind of a big enough repertoire now that with our gigs we have, we know we can play our gigs maybe up to 3 hours or so without rehearsal. But then when we get the chance, when we get together, that's the time we can try to develop new originals. That's pretty much the main thing that requires practice, would be new originals. And usually with that, or Blake makes charts. He writes pretty much all the songs. He does a good job charting them out. So I kind of can get a chart and start to learn on my own, like learn it well enough that we can start playing it on a Sunday, maybe at Twin Leaf, and then kind of work out the kinks as I go. So
yeah, and then introduce it to the shows that aren't like as regular or
exactly. Then kind of fit it into the regular repertoire.
And I will say, as far as our practice regimen, we're brothers and we like to hang out anyway. So we'll pick a Saturday night if we're free, and we'll just spend all night picking and playing and singing, writing, and just hanging out. So it's kind of like two birds, one stone kind of thing.
That's a cool family bond.
Yeah, that's like our hangout time too.
Yeah.
Kind of in a way. So it works out great.
Yeah, we're lucky to have that. So it's good.
Yeah, that's huge. I'm sure your familiarity with each other, comes into the music. The vocal harmonies I was hearing earlier were spot on.
Yeah, we've been doing it a while now, and shout out to our oldest brother Ty, because in Cincinnati before we moved, we had a trio, the Alphas. So we were, 3 brothers, and that's where we kind of got going. And then by the time we moved here, we kind of, Blake and I had a pretty good familiarity with each other. So it just kept going from there.
Did your brother not move to Asheville?
Yeah, he stayed in Cincinnati. He's more settled. He's married and he's a lawyer. So
yeah, and shout out to Ty. He was in Cincinnati Boy Choir as a kid, a great choir group. And so for the Alphas, when we started singing together, he was kind of a great teacher for us of like vocal training that he brings.
Yeah, and like harmonies.
Because he's the only one that really had vocal training. And so he taught us a lot.
Gotcha. Yeah. Connor, you told me about this only very briefly when I mentioned that you guys really missed out on the Nagel brothers because that's got such a ring to it. But I like the Hillclimbers. How did you guys land on that?
That's a good question. Yeah, I probably mentioned that, Nagel brothers has a great ring, but maybe there's a little reservation, like maybe we'd be
leaving out Ty.
Yeah, we'd leave out Ty and go by the Nagel brothers, even though we're a duo. But the Hillclimbers, honestly, I think we were driving back from Asheville. We did a little, we had decided we're thinking about moving out of Cincinnati, and we're exploring different places or options at least. And we came down for a weekend. This was like right in the middle of COVID. Stayed at the downtown.
Right at the beginning of COVID. This was March.
Or yeah, it was like at the peak kind of when things were very well shut down.
Mm-hmm.
So we came here, got a feel, couldn't really do anything, but I guess it was enough.
Still in the mountains, that's lucky.
On the way back, we're riding home and we're pumped up, like, man, Asheville's so cool, But I remember we were kind of spitballing names, and we had also just visited Colorado Springs and Denver, which is where my girlfriend lived, and that was basically here or Colorado were kind of our two main options to like relocate. And we really loved a town called Manitou Springs and like some of the mountains out there. So I remember I was like, ooh, what about like a Manitou, like thinking of just spitballing names. And the mountains were definitely in mind. And then Connor was like, Hillclimbers. Connor was the one that said it. I was like, yeah.
Find some middle ground, like mountain climbers. That's like an edge. That's too extreme.
Yeah.
No, we're too chill for
We're
that.
not passing as mountain climbers.
Right.
It's like, we walked up some hills. So.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Cincinnati is the city of 7 hills, right?
Exactly.
Right.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very hilly.
I did some research.
Yeah, that's your show notes.
Yeah, it's the edge of Appalachia there,
Yeah, so we came from, hill country. It's pretty much the only non-flat part of Ohio for the most part, right? At least southern Ohio.
There's like the bottom right triangle of Ohio is like the edge of Appalachia. So Athens, is Appalachian too, but the rest got glaciated and is flat. And
glaciated. I love that verb. That's cool.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that term before. I am going to water this plant because this is the only time I remember to do it. This is on camera. Well,
there you go.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good ritual.
Needs a little bit of needs a little love.
I'm going to water this plant a little
bit. You guys mentioned charts. What do those charts look like? And you guys also mentioned a real book off camera, and so you have a jazz background, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can do some open. We can do a 60-minute jazz odyssey later.
There you go. We'll see.
All right.
Yeah, I'm excited, Jam. Yeah.
Yeah, Blake makes great charts. I'd say his format is similar to the real book.
Like lead sheets.
Yeah, lead sheets.
Yeah, generally without melodies, but he sometimes does the staff and does the melody. But yeah, just chords and I guess just
lyrics.
Separating, lyrics, verse, chorus, bridge, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's seems like we're pretty close to having a system down that's kind of,
Yeah, it's gotten pretty streamlined.
Yeah, streamlined where we can, if he makes a chart, we're on the same page, even if I'm reading it the first time. So.
Yeah.
Because we pretty much never use music when we gig, so we only use the charts for learning the songs, I guess, like at home.
Gotcha, that makes sense. And the harmonies, you're just sounding that out and remembering them? Are they the same?
Yeah.
Most of the time, or do they vary?
Process
it varies a lot.
Definitely varies. It's not always like a third or a fifth, I guess. And harmonies is usually, pretty fun part of the process. Like Blake will say have a song and have a melody, and then I feel like a lot of times, sometimes Blake will already have a harmony in mind. That happens a lot, and he'll just tell me what my part is. Or if not, he'll just play, say, we just break it down. So if he has a verse, we're like, all right, just play first half of the verse, and he'll just play it, sing his part, and just repeat it live over and over again. And I'll just start singing along, and then at some point be like, okay, that was good. And then I'll get a voice recording on my phone. So pretty much anything we do with harmonies is always through voice recordings. And I'll just be like, oh, new song, verse, harmony. And then generally, like, say I'm at work, if I have downtime, I just learn it just, listening. If I'm at work or if I have free time, just start listening back to the voice recordings, singing along. And that's usually how I learn my parts. So.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, because you can mess around and improv like harmonies all day long, but then actually choosing it and putting it on the voice recording.
Because we've totally gotten burned like, oh, dude, I'll remember it. And then the next time we don't play it for 2 weeks, it's like, man, what was my part? I was like, oh, that was a good part. And we lost it. But voice recorder,
and we've also
one of our top tools, I'd say.
Yeah, we use that a lot. We've also gone back months later and been like, oh, I think you had a part for that. But then we'll just make a new one. Be like, yeah, this is better.
Right, yeah, usually that second pass.
Mm-hmm. Like the more we've played it and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's cool that you guys have everything memorized for the gigs too. That's definitely sort of a deficiency or like a sore spot for me, because as a classical guitarist, my head's
with your
right
type of gigs, it'd be a lot harder, I
Yeah.
imagine. But
I'm really into the sheet music, or if I'm writing a song, that's how I, log it or set it in stone, is like writing it all out, and it just takes forever. It's not efficient.
I bet, yeah.
Yeah, it's slow for us. We can read and write, but it's way slower. It's faster just to do things more by ear. And I think it depends on the type of music you're playing. If I'm singing to someone, I don't want to be reading a chart. But if I'm just playing, or I think it's fine for other things.
Like a jazz gig with the
there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
I guess just for it's like generally our gigs, songs have, 4 to 6 chords or whatever. It's like
and we do a lot of covers.
Yeah, it's kind of a good
gigs.
policy, I guess, that we have. Is just like, yeah, if we can't play it without a chart, then it's probably not ready to play live.
Yeah, especially I think you're right. Like when you're singing and you're connecting with the audience, you gotta have eye contact and express openness, right?
Yeah. I get stuck in because I'm kind of like nervous as is on stage. So if I have a good out, like something to stare at, then I'll just stare at it the whole time. So it's kind of like a crutch.
I get stuck.
I'd say like for like performance.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about like the venues and crowds and things about your performances. Like, what's coming up in May? What are you looking forward to? What are you dreading? What venues are coming up that you're going to play at that you want to talk poorly about on camera? No,
well, this weekend, I'll tell you, we started off at Twin Leaf Brewery in a couple of years ago.
Shout out Twin Leaf.
Yeah, we love Twin Leaf. And they were the first one. The only way we got a gig in this town was by playing open mics. And, we tried emailing people, whatever. But they gave us a shot, and we've been steady with them ever since.
Was it an open mic at Twin Leaf?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, that got us booked for
every Wednesday night, and then I ended up taking over hosting it.
Oh, nice.
So now I'm the host. And Twin Leaf's great. They really they're supportive of live music. They have it every weekend and open mic, and so that's been real steady. And it took us about probably a year to branch out from that. I mean, it was like, we tell our friends, where are you playing? Oh, Twin Leaf again, but we got Friday and Saturday gigs and stuff. But just recently this year, we've been really branching out, and some other breweries we really wanted to hit, like Catawba, Wicked Weed.
And did your weekly gig at Twin Leaf lead to these other gigs just by saying like, well, we've got this happening?
Yeah,
like a little bit of cred.
Maybe in some cases it's credibility. I'll say we did Open Folk. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yeah, great program.
Every Tuesday.
Yeah.
Shout out to Zach and everyone at Open Folk. But we did that. That got us a gig at Wicked Weed because it's hosted by the Funkatorium. So after we did that, the woman who runs their events or something, she was there. She reached out and booked us for an event. So we got Wicked Weed, and I think kind of we just, happened to get, or I guess it's just a natural progression. Start to get more and more places. And then we sent out for this spring, summer season, we just sent out a mass email type thing to several different places. And we got a lot more hits than we had in the past, I'd say. So maybe it's just like, and we gave references like, we play here every week. We've played here, and I think maybe that does help credibility.
Yeah, but to answer your question, the rest of this month we just had this weekend. We have a great weekend, but then Memorial Day weekend we're going back to Cincinnati for a wedding. But this weekend we have 2 new places, and one's the Cellarist Beer Project, which will be our first gig in West Asheville. We're excited about. And the other one is Marked Tree Vineyard, which has a Flat Rock address. It's down south.
Like near Hendersonville.
And both of those are new for us, and we're really excited. And both of those are through Open Folk, basically. Through Zach.
Yeah, through Zach.
Oh, great.
Basically through Zach, yeah.
Zach recommended you to other connections of his.
Yeah, I think
we're looking
so.
for players.
He needed a fill-in for something a few weeks ago, and we jumped on it the day of, and it was a big move.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I would say, thinking about it, like tracing the gigs, definitely majority of them have been through either someone who saw us or word of mouth, as opposed to reaching out and asking if we could play at places. So like people trying to get gigs, I'd definitely say open mics is the first step. Just play out at as many open mics as you can, and then
And talk to the people around at the open
yeah,
mic.
it's networking
community.
there.
Yeah,
Right.
you gotta
That-
mingle.
It's
Make
all
friends.
it's been majority networking. Like, oh, we can look at all these gigs and be like, oh, we got this because we played this gig. We got this gig because we made friends with this guy
Yeah,
Yeah,
at a
it does
gig
sort
or
of
whatever.
bloom.
So that is kind of the big part is networking.
Networking. I play a lot of like events and wedding stuff, and so that's just advertising constantly, and
Yeah, I bet.
there's a lot that goes into that. But I'm always excited when I see that I'm playing a vineyard for sure. That's like
This will be
they're
our
usually
first
really pretty.
vineyards.
Yeah, it's
I've
playing for
heard
the
good
beautiful
things.
people. There you
Yeah.
go. The
Yeah.
cellarist will be for the beautiful people too. The West Asheville type of
Yeah, I
beauty.
haven't
A
even been
different
there
kind of
yet.
Yeah, hopefully
I'm
some
really excited.
locals because we play almost all of our gigs are downtown Asheville, and
Yeah, South Slope. We're hitting.
it's
real
great,
hard.
but it's definitely majority tourists.
That makes
I'd
sense.
say
Yeah.
I
that
bet
we play
West
for.
Asheville's
So
Friday
West
night,
Asheville
yeah.
seems like more of a local scene, so that could be cool.
Do you know if they've got you outside at the cellarist?
I don't know. I've never been there,
Oh, okay.
and they just said 7 to 10. Gave us some terms, and we're like, yeah, we'll try it.
Nice. So tell me about the like set list breakdown. Like what's in your rep right now? Are you doing any standards, or you mentioned covers?
Yeah, we're doing classic rock standards. We've always
Yeah,
leaned on those for 2 hour, 3 hour gigs for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We're up to about. I mean, we have about maybe a dozen solid originals we can do
yeah.
or so. But
Like for a 3-hour gig, we'll probably play like 40 covers and 10
yeah,
originals, and then a good portion of classic rock stuff.
a lot of our originals are ballads, and
Ballads in the slow sense, or like in the storytelling sort of
kind of
old-timey
both.
sense?
They're maybe they're a little more somber. They're more you want a captive audience that's listening to the words or the story, and it's like that doesn't always feel appropriate, on a say Friday night on the South Slope or something when everybody's just partying. We'll do some Jimmy Buffett, CCR, stuff like that.
Totally. Both of those are great. CCR especially for me more than Jimmy Buffett. Hamburgers in Paradise is good though.
Oh yeah,
What do you-
cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger.
Not for me. I'm not a big cheese guy.
What are you, lactose intolerant?
No. But I just don't prefer cheese on my hamburger.
That's
I
interesting.
don't know what that's.
I
about.
prefer a cheeseburger, but a thing I've been made fun of my whole life is I have an aversion to cold cheese. So
Oh yeah, you can.
my whole life I've never eaten cold cheese. Like
Only warm
weird.
cheese.
I can eat a cheese pizza, no problem,
Oh,
double
yeah.
cheese, but just a little charcuterie cheese cube,
I love it.
can't even get it down.
So interesting. Yeah.
It's really
That's strange, isn't it?
Really
you know,
weird.
it should be studied, but yeah, I don't know what it is.
Everybody's different.
I've
Yeah.
been getting into goat cheese. I like a crumbly cheese or like a harder
Like feta?
cheese. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that kind
But
of cheese.
I don't like the pizza cheese or like nacho cheese. Any goopy cheese
Oh,
is
yeah.
not up my alley.
I pretty much like all cheese.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
right in
three
the middle.
kinds of people in this world.
Hard cheese, soft cheese, all cheese.
Oh yeah,
We don't have the no cheese.
I'm coming around to
Yeah, I guess
the
there's
blue
4
cheese.
kinds.
Somebody-
Oh,
yeah.
there's
You know.
the-
Oh, I don't eat cottage cheese. No.
Oh, no way.
Ooh.
Ooh, woof, yeah.
I don't have the guts
We're in agreement
to
there.
even try that.
I had this goat cheese that was infused with like ramps recently. Do you know what I'm talking
What
about?
are ramps?
Ramps are like a green onion-y kind of thing that are local to the area.
Okay.
They're delicious.
What is like a dip?
It's like a shallot. No, it's like just a
It's just
goat
like
cheese,
a,
like a little log of it,
okay.
or maybe it was like a little tub of it. It was good on some crackers.
Okay, you ate it like with crackers and stuff.
Yeah, I ran out of crackers and I put it on some toast with an egg on it. It's
Ooh.
delicious. Yeah,
Hey, I see you, Sam. There you go.
that's right. So, do you guys? Cooking's not part of your act, right? For the audience.
Now, fortunately for them.
No.
I haven't cooked for an audience either. I think the pressure would really be on. I get
Some parties we play. We'll grill some chads.
We man the grill and play. And that'll cost you extra.
Oh yeah. So you guys have like 10 to 12 originals. Do you have like an album in the works? Are you guys shooting for like an EP or some sort of like original, like creative project?
Yeah, I'd say it's in the works.
Yeah, kind of tacitly. It's like we like to add a few originals every couple months, probably average.
Yeah. I mean, Blake pumps
kind
out
of organically.
Blake writes lots of songs, and I'd say that's maybe a discussion topic is like the natural process, or what's the best process for recording and releasing originals, because I feel like we've maybe encountered, it's like if you do it too soon, or I guess my preference would be, because we have this process, like Blake writes it, I start to learn it, we maybe start to gig it, and then it's like, but really you feel like you don't want to record until you've gigged it, 20 times or whatever. And
played it on the street.
Totally. This comes up on here a lot,
everything.
But so many people write the album and then you have to go tour or whatever to promote the album that you wrote.
Yeah.
Hopefully, right?
Chicken or the egg.
Yeah.
Or the horse or the carriage.
I'm with you guys. I would much rather prefer to perform the thing a zillion times and then record it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've just kind of learned that naturally, that it's like, man, we're way better at this than we were when we recorded.
Yeah, you record it, and then 3 months later, it's like...
And you end up changing things.
Yeah.
When you do it live, you always learn something new, or you get like creative juices and singing a little differently, or maybe you're like, oh, maybe we should hold that a little longer, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then when you do record it, right, do you release the album or song by song with a video each?
That's another one. Yeah, it's like, do we want to... Because we haven't released anything as the Hillclimbers. We've done some tracking, but we haven't done really anything more than tracking. So, yeah, that's a discussion, too. Like, do we want to... should we just release 3 songs as an EP just to have something out there? Or should we wait till we have a big project as this big unveiling? And, these are questions we haven't answered really, but that we talk about. Yeah,
totally. I feel like these days you can milk it, right? And people are doing these huge unveiling things for like an EP with like 2 songs on it.
I know. I lean more towards like more releases with less songs, just because of like, if you release 12-song album, or someone pointed out to me, or I heard something, it's like, well, if no one knows who you are, like if you don't already have a fan base and a following, then there's really no point in releasing like a full album. It's like, if you have people who are gonna listen to it and who already like you and listen to you, then like they'll listen to it. But if no one knows who you are, like 12 songs might as well be 2 songs for how much people are gonna listen to it. You're just trying to get people to listen to anything when you don't already have like a fan base.
Right, yeah, especially if the tracks are primarily serving to get you I don't know, to get people to your shows or whatever, to get more people listening to you. Because you might want to create the album to like immortalize these songs and then finally move on to playing other songs. But it sounds like you guys are like me, where I build up the repertoire and keep, most of those songs, you sort as like old friends.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we don't, we're still green enough. There's no songs we've like retired or anything.
Right, yeah.
I mean, there's a couple we put on the shelf, like, oh, everybody's heard those so many times, But
yeah, I guess I'm slinging it. I put some away, but the ones that I really work hard on, or like that I'm sure you're proud of, like the originals, don't really want to move on. But I would imagine, there are rock bands out there or whatever that put out the album and they're like finally moving on to the next album of stuff to work on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know what? I lost my train of thought. Do you guys want to ask me a question?
Yeah, let me think. So what's what's your journey been like as a being a full-time musician?
Well, you guys, you said you moved here during the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
No, we visited. Well, yeah,
we visited. We moved here kind of tail
we moved
end.
here 2 years ago this month.
Places were at least like open when we moved here. Yeah. But yeah, like we have day jobs.
2 years this month.
Obviously, and stuff like that. Like we're not full-time musicians.
Yeah, we've never really made that leap. I've always had a full-time job.
Yeah, I had two until the pandemic came, and that's where I sort of severed ties with those jobs. But I still teach music lessons and consider that sort of a full-time job, I'm passionate about that, and it lets me brush up on my intellectual chops when it comes to music and think about it all day long, But I'd rather be tinkering around in the studio all day or something like that. Sometimes. I don't know. I love most of my students, all of my students, the ones who practice.
Yeah. I'm looking at you, Johnny.
That's right. But I had been working at Moog full time. I worked there for 5 years after going to college for music and philosophy. And when the pandemic hit, I had built up a network of, I had been doing some bar gigs too, but also figured out how to secure wedding gigs, and also had been collecting students. And it just seemed like a good time to I don't know, jump ship, in the midst of the pandemic. But then a lot of people were downgrading from like string quartets and stuff for these giant weddings and having more intimate sort of elopements. And that was a great opportunity for me, sort of just coincidentally, to play solo classical guitar at those gigs. So I still played like more than 50 gigs, I think. I think it was like 35 gigs in 2020, and then around 60 the next year.
Just weddings?
No, and other sort of events.
Like events though,
yeah.
Cool.
Trying to find these little opportunities. So I was still pretty busy, I'm not, the time on the couch was really nice during the pandemic, but I think it was also an opportunity for a lot of people and musicians. I'm sure you guys experienced this too, to maybe pull it to get creative and have all this time to spend working on it, At least that's how I remember it now. I don't know. It's so long ago.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, here's a question. So the Irvin Music Studio, it's multifaceted. You got like your teaching, and then the studio itself, like recording and performing at weddings and stuff like the live stream. Would your ideal be that everything just grows and becomes bigger, but you're still doing these things, or like certain aspects more of a means to an end? And if it was up to you, it'd just be like one of the things would be like what you do.
I think the most difficult thing to summon marginal energy or time to grow is the third department of the studio work. I do some producing and have clients come in here to have some like songwriting coaching and me record parts for them and us create songs together. And I really enjoy that and would love to do that more, just more of that recording and collaborating. And this live stream is sort of a vehicle for that, to force myself to interact with musicians that maybe I'm not familiar with and have conversations revolving around what musicians care about, and like, what are we doing this for? So that third department of the production work is what I am focusing on growing, and maybe I could bring the other two, the frequency of the work down a little bit, which would be nice, and maybe just do more quality, have a little bit more discretion about which gigs I'm taking and which students I'm teaching. Another avenue is to step into some sort of management role, but that doesn't strike me as like a thing that I'm super passionate about, of like, the bureaucracy and the advertising and the stuff that's more supportive of the music. I'd rather be doing the music, What does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
It
answer.
does make sense.
Just it's hard to spin that free. I'm also just trying to not go like crazy. So, to take that free time, just spend some fraction of that free time like working on music. Having the studio in my house is daunting sometimes, because I feel I really push myself to come down here, get judgmental of myself when I'm like resting, I should be pushing and working and
Yeah.
getting at it.
It's a lot to just do it alone like that. Like, just having to get up and go to work, there's something that's really easy about that. Like, it's just my job. I got to get up, go punch the clock. So, yeah, it's admirable.
Yeah.
So.
Takes guts, man.
Yeah, well, thanks. You too can do it. I don't know. It's different strokes for different folks. I think the grass is always greener sometimes, because that sounds really nice.
Right.
Yeah,
On
exactly.
some level, yeah.
And your life sounds nice too, but you got to experiment and see what's best for each person.
Yeah, it's certainly a lifestyle sort of thing, I think. I found that I have to be very regimented and allow myself there are these waves of getting like way too busy, and I have to sort of maintain faith, like at some point I will rest, maybe everybody feels that way though. What are your day jobs, and do they interfere, or how do they support and relate to your music making? Like, I guess you're off on the weekends, right? If you're playing gigs.
So I moved down here. I got a job at a big manufacturing plant as a material handler. So I use my forklift experience, and I kind of help with the flow of parts in our product line, and I'm using machinery and everything. And that is kind of like my old job in Cincinnati. I worked construction for 10 years. And after college, I just really liked that. I stuck with that. And that afforded me almost all of my mental energy to focus on the art. It's like when I get off, I'm not thinking about my job.
Yeah, you can just leave it there.
Yeah, I just go to work, and it's just like work, And so that's pretty much what I continue down here. And but I think that might be changing. I would like to use my intellectual side to make money a little more too. So, but
do you listen to stuff while you're handling materials? Do you get to
no,
listen to
you
like
can't
an
there.
audiobook?
No, but see,
man.
I sing all day and whistle, and so I've written at this new job too. Obviously construction, but I've written a lot of our songs are started at work. I just driving the forklift, and it beeps and it's loud, and I can just sing as I'm working. And
all right, so there's like a work song aspect to.
Oh yeah, most of the songs I
Yeah.
write are at work. It's not like, in the zone at home on my guitar. It's like I'm just singing, and something comes to me, ideas come to me, and I start singing. So
That's a really interesting aspect. That's cool.
yeah, I've always kind of aligned my job to, I guess I can write songs while I work. And it usually works pretty well, you know. I mean, it's like you're just performing a task, like, and if you got it down, you can think
So
about.
do you sneak like the voice recorder?
Yeah, that's a good question. I do. And some people have probably seen me like, what is he doing? They think I'm like cataloging parts or something.
Oh, right.
I do. And basically I can't do that very often, so I'll sing it over and over until I'm sure I won't forget it. You know,
yeah, really work it up for the sparing, like sort of sporadic
sneak off
recording sessions.
You know, it's like sometimes it's that simple, you know, and then just sing it over and over all day, and then something else come.
Yeah, I do that around the house, and I have the best sort of vocal melodies when I'm, you know, singing about absolutely nothing. Like, what am I doing today?
Yeah.
Having a good time.
Right.
But then I totally fail to record it. I'm always like, where's my phone?
See,
and then
you
whenever I
gotta
get it.
That's a big one.
That's what I've
Yeah.
learned over the
Record it.
years. You got to, because it'll just be gone forever, man, if you're not careful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I work with kids. Shout out Christine Avery Learning Center.
Oh,
So
I've worked there before.
Have you really?
I worked with Leaf teaching like a jazz brass band there.
I just took the kids to the Leaf Festival last weekend, or at least some of the kids. Yeah, because Leaf does outreach.
Mm-hmm.
So I work with pre-K in the morning. I have an after-school class in the afternoon of first graders. And that's kind of, you know, I just so happened to kind of work with kids out of college, like teaching tennis, and then worked at the museum center in Cincinnati. So I moved down here. I was just looking for jobs and came across that. And it's been a good experience. It's kind of hard to say how it relates to my music, but I guess it's like every job, there are pros and cons, but it's like very gratifying, I'd say. So kind of keeps my spirit light, I'd say, for the most part. Like I feel pretty good about what I do. So I never really feel like so worn out. Like if I have a gig or after work or stuff like that, it's maybe not. I've had jobs in the past where it's like more of a grind, that it's like I don't want to do anything when I get off. And here I feel pretty free to, once I'm done working, it's like Blake said, I can leave it there and I'm ready to play. And I guess, like he said, with writing, I have, you know, free space in between the morning with the little kids and when the older kids get out of school, and I am free to listen to whatever I want. And so that's really important to me. If I couldn't do that, then it would, you know, that would be a big difference in my work quality. So I have a few hours a day I can listen, I can sing, like we were talking about earlier. I can learn my parts. Like I'd say over half of my like rehearsal time is just like mental rehearsal at work. Like even with bass parts, learning, if I'm just learning the chords to a new original or cover, I'll just listen to it and just think of and just play along in my head, but move my fingers with the chords. So I guess that
has an impact.
Yeah,
a huge impact.
Yeah, that's important to me, I guess, in my musical learning.
There were experiments done, I don't know where I read this, with like basketball players shooting hoops. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I heard about that when I was playing tennis. A coach told me. Yeah, they like had them.
There's like a control group that just sat around and didn't practice or do anything.
Yeah.
And then, everybody shot a bunch of goals, you know, beforehand, and then that group didn't do anything.
Yeah, like free
one
throws.
group like thought about, right, yeah. And one group thought about it really hard for like half an hour or whatever, and then one group actually went out and practiced. And of course, the group that practiced, you know, did the best when they came back and shot more free throws. But the guys who thought about it did considerably better than the guys who were.
Or they like visualized,
interesting,
making the basket. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they weren't just pondering what are baskets. Swishes. Yeah, well, we're almost at jam time, you guys. What else is there to say? Working with kids is gratifying. It can be frustrating. It takes a certain temperament of patience.
Yeah, it's definitely frustrating, and yeah, it is kind of. If there wasn't balance, it's like, yeah, you have really bad days, kind of where it's like, man, I can't keep doing this, and then you have real easy days where the kids are like pretty cool, and it's like, all right, yeah, this isn't so bad. So it is, but I kind of have like a pretty laid back temperament with. If you're like really easily triggered, then yeah, it'd probably wouldn't be a good fit. They definitely, but yeah, we do music. Blake and our friend Owen came. We did like a bluegrass demo for him. Blake and I have done it twice now, so
yeah,
we try to incorporate the music and
what goes down over there a little bit.
Yeah, the kids really like it. It's like, probably for a lot of them first exposure to like string music, bluegrass music, and they danced and stuff, and they're asking me about it,
yeah,
days, weeks after it. So it's cool. It's like, I don't teach them music per se, but you try to introduce some music, or I get the speaker going and play like jazz and stuff, and they like hate it, but
yeah, it's not rolling down in the deep or whatever is like, yeah, TikToking at the moment.
Yeah,
that factory work takes patience too. I've been in that scene at Moog, just doing the same wrote thing over and over, but I got to listen to audiobook stuff. I can't imagine.
Cool.
It's probably, but I think it's so good for the creative mind to experience, or like, I don't know, I'm going to force it. You didn't say this, but like experience boredom or have that clarity of like, well, now I got to think about something. You occupy yourself by being creative.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually, my car situation's the same. My radio went out.
Oh no,
so
that's tragic.
I sing, I entertain myself a lot of time. It's like that at work,
practicing.
man. You start singing, man, you flex your memory a little bit, or you just try new ideas. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, I'm excited to hear all of that payoff here in a few minutes when we jam. We're going to take a quick break. I've got this nifty feature, this has been changing camera angles automatically, which is really fun, but now I'm going to stop that and because I can fade to black and it's very cool. But I haven't figured out how to do that from over here for the mic, so we're going to be really quiet once I fade to black. But I know, a little peek behind the curtain for this very casual podcast. Thank you guys so much for coming on. The Nagel brothers, and Ty, if you're out there, you're part of the Nagel brothers, but more specifically the Hillclimbers. Thank you so much.
Nice, yeah. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, thanks a lot,
Connor
Sam.
Blake, and I am Sam Irvin, and this is Asheville 8-Note. Again, hit subscribe or follow on Instagram or Facebook. Check out, where are you guys playing? The Cellarist this Friday?
Yeah.
Yep, and then Marked Tree Vineyard and Flat Rock on Saturday, and then we're at Twin Leaf Brewery in the South Slope Sunday 4 to 6, and we're there every Sunday. And Blake hosts the open mic every Wednesday, except for this Wednesday, at Twin Leaf.
I hope it's going well with Lawrence over there.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for taking one off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lawrence, for covering.
Cool. Yeah, well, that's where to find the Hillclimber. That's so beneficial to have that weekly wallpaper gig.
Yeah,
where people
residency.
can
Oh, yeah.
come and find you. Yeah.
It's been great.
Really awesome. All right, cool. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we'll be right back. Fade to black.
Isabel, keep powering. I won't always be here. She said, come. Two on the ground without the world in our hands. The moon and stars around the night full of romance. Not just our bodies, but our souls began to dance a sacred dance. such a sign. I turned my gaze till I looked back with all that I found. She walked away. She walked away. But that's okay. She said, call me darling, and I will call you dear. There's a boat keep falling. I won't always be near. She said, love me, darling, and I will love you, dear. There's a boat keep falling. I will always be here. There's we all live in fear, and it's true, I held you dear. But I won't do shed a tear. I'll just smile. And I recall when she said call. She said call. She said call.
Thank you, Sam. Good. I can pretty much only hear Blake's guitar.
Yeah, I could use less guitar in my phones too.
Let's see if the mix is the same.
Or maybe, or if you could just raise my voice, then that could be good too.
What do you think about the mix? Here, take off your headphones real quick.
The mix sounds pretty good.
So it's just in the monitor.
I think so.
Yeah, in the monitor, less guitar. I could use less guitar too. Wow, beautiful guitars, by the way, Sam. Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, the mic and the guitar were cranked in the monitor.
Yeah.
That should fix it.
Yo, yo, yo.
Okay, great. Yeah, that should fix it. Oh, yeah. It's like a little, that acoustic guitar was a little harsh.
I tried. Okay. What do you think,
We
Sam?
could do,
Do one more? Or?
yeah, we could do one, or whenever Sam joins us, we can do,
Earthly Body.
yeah.
Yeah. You want to wait one more? Or jump on.
I'll jump on.
Okay.
Let's see what's going on.
So this one will stay in G the whole time. Key of G major, and it's just like an 8-bar progression, basically, 4 and 4, where the first 4 are A minor, D, G, A minor, and then the second 4 are A minor, D, G, E minor.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
So A minor, D, G. Yeah, and then the second time through, same, it just ends on E minor.
And then you can take a solo.
Yeah, we can have a big solo section. Maybe we'll jam a little bit on it.
Okay, yeah.
Just a little bit of words here and there. We'll make it like a Dozio song or so.
I'll follow your lead.
Okay. You hear that now?
I got nothing in my.
Oh, Connor's went away.
I don't need them though. We're playing acoustic leaf. All right, now I got it.
Yep, I got it. Okay, wait.
You are not a North Star, for you're allowed to change. We can watch Polaris together from the frame, like Jupiter's red spot, and Saturn with the ring. We are earthly bodies seeking otherworldly things. Why try to gauge your high against the sky? Don't slip and waste your time comparing yours to mine. Why try to gauge your high against the sky? Don't slip and waste your time comparing yours to mine. Why try to gauge you high against the sky? Don't slip and waste your time comparing yours to mine. Why try to gauge you high against the sky? Don't slip and waste your time comparing yours to mine. You are not a North Star, you're allowed to change. We can watch Valerians together from my frame, like Jupiter is red spot, Saturn with her rings. We are earthly bodies seeking otherworldly things.
Nice. Okay, yeah, that we're actually still working on that one. Form and everything. I think I came in on the chorus after the solo, which might have thrown Connor for a loop. But hey, I didn't think about it, and that's what happened. So, yeah, would you want to try just like jamming? A little jam.
Let's jam.
Yeah.
I had the wrong harmonica on that one. Damn it.
Classic. A minor special.
Absolutely.
That was pretty cool.
Do you have a tune that you think we'd pick up real quick? Or?
I need your real book.
So what? That's how's that go again?
It's like a bass part. It's like. You play the chords with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Off the top of our head. I'll do the trumpet part.
Is that what it does the whole time?
Yeah, then it speeds up a half step.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Don't do that to me. So I probably can't do that with a key change.
That's alright. What about a
No, we just
little sunflower? So.
Oh, we used to do that.
Oh yeah.
That was the first modern groove tune.
Do you need the trumpet?
I mean, I need the chart too, though. I did all this on keys.
Oh yeah. Oh, I see.
Oh man.
Let's just play a blues while we think.
Yes. Yeah, that's smart.
Okay.
How about a blues in B flat, like a Stranger Chaser?
Okay, is it just like a 12 bar?
Yeah.
tried. I tried.
You got the blues.
Do it in.
No, you were shredding, man. I liked it.
Okay. Well, I didn't have a heart for that.
You too happy?
That's okay. Huh?
Too happy for the blues?
No, it was great blues. I just didn't have a harmonica in that key. I didn't have what? E flat with me.
He's got the no key blues.
Okay. Would you want to try just falling on one of ours, see what you can do?
Yeah, sure. Why don't you guys do another one, just the two of you?
We'll do ordinary person, duo, and then
Okay. Yeah, Ordinary Person is a short song. I feel like you could play on Silver and Green.
yeah.
Just play by ear.
Walking in the street, and with my ordinary mind I take my ordinary time. Hold it together now. Woo! I might grab a bite if I don't have to wait in line, as long as people that don't mind me wearing sunglasses inside so I can hide. Hold it together now, hold it together now. Hold it together now. To be an ordinary person walking in the street, and with my ordinary mind I take my ordinary time. Hold it together now.
For Sam.
Thank you. Ordinary Person, yeah. Yeah, Sam, I think you could play on what you want to try one of ours though? Oh, yeah. Play along? This one's all in the key of C, okay? So if you're blowing along at home, C harp here. We're going back to our roots. I mean, there's no surprises as far as harmonies. All the chords will be in the key of C major, right?
Yeah.
White keys on the piano if you're playing along at home. I think you probably it's just a repeating form, you know, verse chorus type thing, and it's slow enough. I think you probably just pick along by ear. After the second verse, we'll let you just rip a solo. So you can take the first verse, maybe listen, and it'll all repeat.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, this is a love song. It's called Silver and Green.
We both got a mean streak. We both wind up seeing eye to eye. We both like to dream, babe. You've got your silver aura, and I've got my big green eyes. And we never tell each other lies. Whole life on the big screen. People never tell you when to cry. They've all gone to get there. But I've got your silver aura, and you've got my big green eyes. And we never tell each other lies. The world can be a cold place when people only show you their skies. But you and I will see, babe. You've got your silver aura, and I've got my big green eyes. And it took us time to realize we both got a mean streak.
Nice, dude.
That's fun. That's a fun progression for sure. I like how it hangs out on that for a long time.
Yeah, you did a swell job with it, man. I knew you would.
Hey, appreciate it. Yeah, you guys sound great. This is fun.
Thank you. Yeah, this is fun.
Songs are really well put together. Which ones of these did you write any of these recently on the job factory?
Earthly Bodies, yeah. Earthly Bodies I wrote in Asheville. I started it after the Trevor Hall concert with my girlfriend down at Salvage Station. That was beautiful, you know. And then, I finished it on the forklift. Yeah, definitely. That's the one that just keeps
Try it.
repeating, so you could really shred on.
Okay.
I mean, it's simple, but.
Yeah, let's do that.
Sam said, "Say less."
You have a capo over here?
Do you want this dippy shark capo?
Yes.
Ooh. Shout out to my old roommate Scott Caw. He had the same shark capo.
No way. Chomp, chomp.
Or I think he did.
Reminds me of my deep sea angling days.
Did you ever have the Game Shark for the Nintendo 64?
I remember the Game Shark.
Yeah.
We had the PlayStation original, and our grandma had the original Nintendo.
We skipped N64 in our family.
We were like tweener.
Old Ty, that's our brother. He was like, Mom, I'm telling you, cartridges are in the past. Discs are the way of the future. For Christmas that year, it was either an N64 or a PlayStation, and Ty was the one that convinced her.
Crash Bandicoot was great.
Oh, yeah.
Crash, Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal, too.
Yeah, lots of great PlayStation games. And N64 games.
I'm a Nintendo guy. The new Zelda's out. It's a miracle that I'm here right now.
I heard about that.
So what console do you play that on?
The Switch.
Sweet,
The
yeah.
Nintendo Switch.
Okay, so that's like portable, but you can also plug it into a TV.
Yeah. I've had
Dang, so you play it on the good. Yeah, the last console we had was probably the original Xbox.
GameCube. We still have our GameCube.
Yeah, we had a GameCube. That's a great console.
Okay, you want to try one of ours again?
Yeah.
We got the big shark in the house.
Speaking of video.
Maybe one or two more.
Okay. Okay, this is Heat Storm. It just keeps repeating, so don't worry about it. You'll get it.
All right.
And it's gonna build, and then you'll rip a big solo. So start small, gradually build, and then comes your time, just fucking let loose.
All right.
Okay.
Whispers in the morning, thunder in the night, distant clouds of warning, thunder in the night. Smell of rain and green grass, rumbles in the sky. I can feel the heat storm rumbling tonight. 10 for every corner, stillness in the air, dark horizon, storm clouds forming everywhere, cold electric white light flashes in the sky, harbingers to heat storm rolling into night. I can feel the heat storm rolling into night. I can feel the heat storm rolling into night. Can you feel the heat storm rolling into night? I can feel the heat storm between us tonight. whispers in the morning, stillness in the night, dark horizon, storm clouds forming everywhere, cold electric white light flashes in the sky, harbingers to heat storm rolling into night. I can feel the heat storm rolling into night. I can feel the heat storm rolling into night. Can you feel the heat storm rolling into night? I can feel the heat storm between us tonight.
Ooh, nice ending, dude. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Thank you. That's a brand new one we're still working on, but.
I like it. And then without repeating chord progression.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. You want to try to take some patience on the bass? You're just rocking that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying.
Sam, you want to do one more?
Yeah, one more. What do you guys?
One more song.
I know what a big finale is. Yeah, what do you think finale sounds? Hey Jude. Or like,
Yeah.
spout 'em off. Yeah, what's in the rep?
More Bamba.
La Bamba.
We need Sam to get the trumpet out for that though.
Ooh. I could play some trumpet, but I don't have a mic to play into.
Friend of the Devil. Friend of the Devil.
I don't know that one.
Or Ripple. It's not exactly a finale.
This is the most exciting part. Figuring out what to play.
Louisiana Saturday Night.
Yeah, whatever.
Or La Bamba. La Bamba would be great.
Yeah, just come up and play trumpet on my mic.
Okay, sure.
Yeah? You want it? You can do guitar too.
Yeah, guitar's fine.
Yeah.
La Bamba?
I don't know the melody to La Bamba or anything.
You know, we'll sing the melody. You just rip
The
us
chords
off.
are just C, F, G, F.
You gotta just come back, Richie Valens shredding on it.
Okay, I'll make a trumpet solo at some point then.
Okay?
That song, yeah.
Yeah. One of those songs.
Para bailar la bamba, se necesita una poca de gracia, para mí, para ti, y arriba, por ti seré. Yo no soy marinero, soy capitán, soy capitán. Bam, ba, bam, ba. Bam, ba, bam, ba. Bam, ba, bam, ba. Bam. Para bailar la bamba, se necesita una poca de gracia, para mí, para ti, y arriba. ¡Vamos, Sam! necesita una poca de gracia. Una poca de gracia por mí, para ti. Y arriba, y arriba. Y arriba, y arriba. Por ti seré, por ti seré, por ti seré. Bam, ba, bam, ba. Bam, ba, bam, ba. Bam, ba, bam, ba. Bam. Bam, ba, bam, ba. 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 Thank you. Yeah.
Eventually, I was like, "What?" All right, cool. Yeah, well, nice playing, you guys. Thank you so. Here, let me steal one of these mics. Yeah. All right, yeah. Thanks for coming on. I don't know which camera I'm talking to right now, but thanks for watching. This was Asheville 8 Note. This was the Hillclimbers. Connor and Blake, thank you for coming on. I'm Sam Irvin, and this is the end of the show. Next week I'll have somebody else on. All right.
Sam.
Yeah.
Thank you. Great time.